Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for FLR. Now we need to discuss the scenario where this actually breaks down. I'm going to go over that and as well what we're tracking here. So since the low, we're tracking this as a diagonal, looking for a 5-wave move to the upside, series of 3 waves, ABCs. Had our wave 1 up, wave 2 complete as a flat. It ended up making a WXY, and on linear scale it came just shy of the 50. We then made a series of zigzags to the upside, double zigzag, ABC, ABC. We came to the 1.236 and 382 extension for our wave 3, which is expected as per guidelines. Now we're looking for this move up to the 1.618 at 7.736 cents, and that takes us into price discovery. We tick through it and rejected very quickly. But there are areas we need to pay close attention to. We must hold this level that used to be resistance as support. I do not want to see us fall below this pivot on the 4th wave right here for any serious amount of candle closes or anything like that. We can wick through it, but we want to see very quick recovery if it ends up coming down this low, between 2.722 cents. Now, as you can see, we're getting dangerously close to our pitchfork line. This is an original pitchfork line which has been respecting, and if we fall through and get another wave to the downside, this is my last resort, which is where we have a shift pitchfork. This would be a channel more than a original pitchfork. You can see it's just a channel. In that case, that's where we would come down to that 2.7 cents, obviously hopefully reject very quickly, and come up to that 7.736 cents. This is the scenario where Bitcoin sells off in that C wave. If you haven't seen that, I suggest watching that, but I have a very close stop on this one. I'm going to talk about this area here, this 4th wave, and it's perfectly normal to come down for one more wave here. That would probably take us right there at the 50, between the 50 and the 618, which is a standard retracement, right? So let's go down to this wave 4 candle here, and we'll talk about that. Let's go down to the 15-minute. So this is a very choppy correction right here. Obviously a series of WXYs. It's not impulsive, it's corrective, which is a good sign. One thing I was looking at was if we hit the 1-to-1 off here, where does that take us? And it takes us about 2.569 cents, right to that kind of area we're looking for. I'm also tracking if we hit the 1-to-1 off this pivot, where does that take us? The 1.618 extension would take us to that area we're looking for. 2.727, I think it was. So yeah, very interesting spot. So I am long in this one, and I put my stop just at the 70%, 3639. And if we fall through that, I'm looking for another buy at that 2.727 cents, I think. I'll go back and double check that for you. But this is a very complex structure, as you can see. Even this move off from the low does not look the greatest. To me, it looks more corrective than anything. It's either a very ugly diagonal or a corrective move. That's the problem with diagonals. You can count them as corrective or as diagonals. I haven't seen one really I can't do that with. And how that would look is, whoa, an A with a flat BC, right? Get our WXY or ABC as a flat, ABC. So that would just be a WXY. Or I can count it as a diagonal, right? So it's a very difficult spot. Keeping track of this as well, which is why I put my stop there just past the 70. If we hit the 1-to-1 and this becomes a correction to the downside to that 1-to-1, we can recover from here. It could just be a very ugly diagonal. So my hard stop is right there at 3639. This could also, again, we don't know what's going to happen here. This could come up, make some sort of flat, and then go from there. We don't know. It's too much chop. But as per the setup, if this is the low, that's the lowest area I would want to hold it, which is why I have it there. And I'll show you how these patterns can play out. And they eventually show themselves. They just take time, right? When you're in the middle of three-wave chop. So once again, if this fails, that's where I'd be looking for that buy around 2.742, that 1-to-1 extension, or the 1.618 off that second one. I'd be paying very close attention down here. But how this can just chop sideways for quite a long time. An example of that is right down here. Right, you can see we got our move up. Doesn't look like much. Just chop, 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 sideways, bang, right? Just kind of got to let the count fill itself out. We know where our invalidation is, and you can see we never passed the 70. So there's an example for you. We've also haven't quite reached our time guidelines expectations. Of the 618 to the 1-to-1. What I did was pulled from our wave 2. So I want a similar length of time as the wave 2 rather than this wave 3. So it would get extended way out. So I took we should have an equal time as the wave 2. That's why I put it here. The length of this wave 3 didn't quite make sense with it, the current count. So that's why I did that. So we'll see here. If it holds the original pitchfork, we should just go sideways, even make something like this, and move to the upside to our 7.736. Or if we fail, look for an entry at these areas between like 3 cents and 2.722. And I'd have to switch this to modified, which is just a channel, and look for that fifth wave to the upside after. But as long as we get this move to the upside, it's very bullish, because that would complete a larger wave 1 and 2 if we get this move. And then we'd look for our larger buy at that area of price discovery to the upside. But if we fail here and we just can't recover, we break these levels. This is more likely a complex WXY, and we kind of range for a very long time, unfortunately. You've heard me talk about that before with newer projects and price history. We either break it or we just range for a very long time. So we really want that area to hold to have bullish hope on this project. All right, guys, so I hope that was helpful. Again, my hard stop is at that 70%. You'll have to check your exchange. Not financial advice, just what I'm doing. Mine's at 3639, and looking for between 3 cents and 2.72 for kind of my last ditch effort that this count stays intact. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.